What's up, everybody? It's your favorite New Yorkers, the ones who are taking
not being insulted on a plane.
It is. I was just about to say the ones who are not the ones who wish they were cursing out the mayor on the plane. You know,
did I post that? We need to post that because that is a great moment in democracy.
It is like the look on his face.
I know. Thank you, Michael Adler. Once again, we have the best friends on this show and the best former hosts because they know how to get to our hearts. Post anything about the Knicks, post anything about Eric Adams, and we're there. I enjoy the fact we'll post a thing, but was he writing in Coach? What was that about? You have to, right?
As a government official, you're supposed to. You're not supposed
unless the Turkish Airlines are paying, unless the Turks and the Azerbaijanis are paying for it. You know, I don't think I
said it. We're on the Pantheon Podcast Network. It's show number 184. It's us. I'm gonna let you finish. Yeah. Now finish what you were saying.
I was going to say that keeping in the Eric Adams School of Democracy, maybe this summer when I go to Uzbekistan, yes, that's what I said. I'll explain it later. Maybe I can, see if I can get some sort of outreach program with United States of New York. The next time I want to go, they can fly me over for free.
Wasn't it some like a hip hop star over there?
In Albania.
Oh, okay. Right.
No, he was on Albania's Got Talent, and I'm leaving it at that. Not only was he I'm sorry, did I say hip hop? Drill. There's a whole facet of drill called Albanian drill. Anyway, how are you? Black. I know you're black.
What the fuck is Albanian drill?
It's drill. I know. I figured you couldn't let that go.
I'm like, what?
it's drill in Albanian, I guess. I don't know. I mean, do we understand what American drill artists are saying?
I don't understand.
Right.
Okay.
So if they're singing in Albania, are you going to understand it any better?
Except for some reason.
That there's no black people in Albania? Yeah.
That Ice Spice, I don't know why I like her. Do I think it's great?
I'm sorry. No. I can tell you right now why you like her. Because you like questionable vocals and production.
Well, she's so cute. And she got her little look. And when she was at Coachella, I watched her performance both weekends. And I was kind of like, I know these songs. Like the Deli song. You say she's a baddie. You say she's showing her panty. I said about Manny. And then it's not about Manny. I said about Deli. And I was like, okay, I don't know what this is, but I like it.
Yeah.
It's terrible, though.
Oh, you said I like it, and the thumb came up on my side. Anyway. All right.
That's how she's a baddie. Something showing her panty.
I will give her this. I have never seen anybody get so many commercial whatever based on like literally 4 songs.
And her hair had crimps. And I like a crimp.
Do you like
the crimp? The first weekend it was straight. The second weekend it was crimped.
Oh, okay.
And I appreciated a crimp. I'm like, bring back the crimp. I think we need justice for a crimp.
I think I'll crimp. All right. Do you want me to crimp my hair?
Yeah, crimp. I like a crimp.
With my rouge?
Mm-hmm. With
Should I crimp in rouge?
I still can't believe I said that. I was like, she has on rouge. I was like, what decade is it, bitch? Did you just say rouge?
Maybe next time you can say I'm a brassiere and just really take it all the way. All right. Mm-hmm. We are complete. Well, speaking of, there is a segue here. Mm-hmm. Ice Spice, Taylor Swift's black friend, right? Isn't Ice Spice Taylor Swift's black friend?
Mm-hmm. No, she has that other one, that horrible guy, Tondrick Hall.
I was going to say that other one. She has that other one, but this is her. Well, Black Spice, Ice Spice, Black Spice. Ice Spice fulfills 2 categories because she's Dominican and black, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right. So Taylor Swift's Dominican and black friend. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Taylor Swift, I don't know if you've heard this. She has an album out.
It's a 40-year long album because that's how long it felt listening to it. Yeah. I literally put it on. Okay. Let's just skip to the chase.
Yeah. I read somebody called it, you're going to love this. Some English critic somewhere somebody posted it, called it Blandinista.
It's like,
I'm sorry.
I understand the, how do I say this? How do I say? Listen, I do think there's such thing as too much music.
Yes.
There's such thing as too
from
much.
one person.
There is a thing. I remember back in the day, you and I were talking about this recently, how, hey, Spoons. Oh, look, she put her head in the camera. How it used to be when Prince was fighting Warner Brothers, he was fighting them because he wanted to put out more than one album of the year. And it was weird at that period of time, right, where Warner really fought that. If you really think about it, you go to the 70s, a lot of artists, and some of the biggest hits we know, people were putting out multiple albums a year. I know Aretha Franklin would have one album at the beginning of 1973 and have a second album by the end of the year in 1973. And I think rock bands did that too. But then we got to this period of one album, the focus, too much music. And now I think with this record and Taylor Swift, and we're finally starting to see different sort of reviews that are actually kind of critical of this music and her in this moment, which I was shocked and surprised, because usually it's, she's great, she's brilliant, da-da-da-da-da. It just feels like you've kind of, this one hit the wall of...
There's fatigue. Like I said, there's like Taylor fatigue. There really is, because... I mean, it's like you can't criticize someone for being prolific. You can't criticize someone for seizing their moment, but it seems like her moment has been, like, it's seized already, Taylor. It's seized. It's
like a 6-year moment.
Yeah. And people need to want to. Now, the thing is, her fans always want to hear from her, because what did the album sell? Like 1.4 million the first week or something crazy like that?
No, the first day. So she's the first day. And over the weekend,
breaking all sorts of records.
Vinyl alone over the weekend sold 700,000
Oh, that's unheard of. That's unheard of.
That's unheard. So by the time this week ends, she's going to clearly be over 2 million.
Oh, yeah. And they're saying that and every one of her songs is in the top everything, like the top 25 on Spotify. No. I mean, she's breaking records. She's about to break Jay-Z's record for the most #1 albums. She's this close to breaking the Beatles record. I mean, in their defense, the Beatles weren't around long enough to put them out. But the point is that both you and I have said this. This is not a shocker. We're not huge fans of hers. We appreciate her talent. I don't want to speak for you, but we appreciate her talent. We know that she's talented. She's not without talent. She is not without some really good songs. She appears to be, by all reports, a good person. Her tours, I've heard. I know people have seen her tours, and they said they're like great, like up there with everything. I don't need 31 tracks from anybody. Anybody. And I certainly don't need 31 tracks that all seem... I have no problem with people maturing and changing their vibe. I mean, Nick Cave went from a kind of aggressive kind of sound to it's more subdued. But this record, the songs all basically sound the same.
Oof.
They really do. There's some really good songs on there, but
in there is a good album.
I think the first album, maybe.
Somewhere in there is a good album. But it is too much.
It's too much.
It's the same tempo. And I saw an article, I believe it was Rolling Stone, which, has been, it might as well be called Taylor Stone, as much as they just, every time there's an article. But the headline I saw was something to the effect of, has Taylor and Jack Antonoff's partnership hit his course where they feel like, even the best artists who work with producers for a long time need to take a break and maybe come back together years down the line when they both come back together and see what they have to say.
Plus, he works with a lot of artists. And I can't predict. I don't know what goes inside he's made some great songs. Yeah. I'm just getting this kind of whispery, I mean, it's kind of too Lana Del Rey-ish for me. It's just, I have never, there is another article into the Times today where 4 critics are taking it apart. And these are 4 critics that I really respect and John Perales has been writing about pop music forever. He is a smart guy. She is not above criticism. She is not above criticism. And we live in a world where everybody gets a trophy and you can't say anything to anybody of a certain age. People have no problems yelling and screaming at our age and telling us shit all the time. But of a certain age, you've been raised, and she's been raised in a bubble, Taylor Swift. She's been raised not in a real world, but you can't say anything negative about anybody. And no one has said this record sucks. No one has said she's not talented. No one has said anything. They've just said, not her best work.
And it's not.
And it's not.
And listen, and I was talking to a friend about it.
And it's clearly impacted sales, hasn't it?
So I was talking to a friend, and his whole energy was, there's a lot of lyrics, right? And she's really lyrical, and it's a lyrical album. I said, yes, that's always been her thing. We're never going to talk about her songwriting ability. I will never. Will even
she
the
can,
one.
She
even
can
the
write
records,
a song. She can write a song.
Even the records that are not for me, that I did not get. To me, I will never say that this young lady cannot write a great song, because she can.
Right.
The truth of the matter is, this one seems like a stream of consciousness album, or a bunch of songs, that are sad songs or angry songs about breakups. You put them all together at the same tempo, and it just sounds like one long song. There are absolute diamonds in the rough in this album. That song with Florence and the Machine is great.
Really good.
The Goodbye, is it Goodbye London? Long London?
Well, her fifth, now that we're, she always puts her fifth song as a big song, which is like, I don't know, whatever.
I think that's a good record. You know what I mean? It is. But it's too much.
The single is good. I got no problem with the single.
Listen, there's been too many Taylor Swift albums. At this point, it's like 6 albums in a row. And I do think that even though her fans are rabid about her, taking a break for all of us will do us good. But I'm scared because she still has 2 more reissues to do, and knowing her, they're going to come at some point this year, because
they're going to be expanded reissues too,
with a new song, new singles on them. And the truth of the matter is, the tour kicks back up next month, and she's on tour through December. Like, she goes to Europe, then she comes back to the US. So we're not going to be done talking about her probably until 2025. And then I hope that she takes a break. Go live life a little bit. You're a wealthy person. Have a little bit of life, and then come back and write about something. Because the truth, you and I had this conversation, and I do believe it. I said, she's a great writer, but all her songs are about relationships. I think that women are more than just what happened with the men in their life.
Or the women in their life.
Yeah. So go live a little bit of life.
Yeah.
And then come back and maybe have something to say that doesn't have to do with heartbreak and
again, we're not trying to be dismissive. I mean, we both, you to a lesser extent, because you are a little bit younger, but I grew up in the age of the 70s confessional singer-songwriter. That was the dominant thing on, James Taylor, Cat Stevens, Joni Mitchell, Carole King, blah, 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 blah. Okay. A lot of the stuff was about relationships, but a lot of it wasn't. And they were the same age as her. In fact, they were probably a little bit younger than her when they were. I think James Taylor was in his mid to late 20s when Fire and Rain came out. And and they were dealing with other issues. Her other issues, always Taylor, I mean, seem to be cloaked in relationships. And at some point, look, as I said, if we're gonna, I could put out a box set. We all could, about Amy's Shitty Taste in Men, the remix. Okay,
and I'll be the bonus album with
the bonus tracks
with the house music versions.
I was going to say with
my shit,
with the remixes. Yeah. We can include a video lyrics and the whole night.
All of the things,
and a tour, of course. Mm-hmm. But the point is, it just gets exhausting, and this just feels. She's not. It's just exhausting. I mean, when people are doing reviews or having and granted, this is the state of journalism and click journalism, where the whole premise of it is dissecting who is this song about? Who is this song about? You know what was great about You're So Vain? Nobody knew who it was about.
Still.
No. She has
one person. No,
she said it.
No. Only to one. Remember, she's at an auction recently, years ago. She has not said it. She auctioned off to a highest bidder one person to tell, I believe, who the song was about. She's actually...
It's Warren Beatty, right?
No, they've never said it
publicly. Okay. But that's sort of fun, right? It's sort of fun.
All of the things. It still great song still keeps the mystery about it, because some people say it's this one, some people say it's this one. You know what I mean? It could be a lot of people.
So her, sitting there going, oh, this must be, oh my God, Joe Alwyn? This must be Joe Alwyn. Oh no, it must be Matty Healy because he likes typewriters. I'm like, right. Really? And what is a tattooed golden retriever even mean? I
don't know, but I do like. Does she have a song called like "The Smallest Man in the World," which is fierce?
Yeah,
that one is fierce.
I'm trying to figure out what a tattooed golden, because golden retrievers are very nice.
Yeah, they are
very child friendly. Not the sharpest knives in the drawer. Which is why they're good around children, because they're not aggressive. Matty Healy, from my completely limited contact with him via media, does not seem like good around children or goofy and good around children. He just doesn't seem good. That's just me. Anyway, it's a little exhausting.
The single is great. I like the song with her.
The single is great. I also am like, really? Kim Kardashian? Really?
Listen.
Really?
She is going to beat. I feel like she's been beating that drum and letting her have it since 2017. I'm like,
2016. 2016. It's been 8 years. Right? 6 and 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Or 6.5. Come on. First off, Kim Kardashian is Kim Kardashian. Whatever problems you have with her, get over it. It's done. Okay? It's done. You don't have to engage with Kim Kardashian. You don't have to. No one is forcing you to watch the TV show, to buy her products.
Well, it's all of the stuff that happened, and I get what happened was really fucked up. But you've already addressed it a couple of times.
Several times. And in fact, it was the addressing of it that made her sort of less liked. Taylor, you addressed it. There was a period where Taylor Swift was coming off kind of bitchy, going up against Katy Perry with her squad, all that kind of crap. It was like, yeah, you're not this whole I'm a feminist thing, and that means I'm going to gather all my rich, freakishly tall friends around me. Carly Kloss.
To go after Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
There's nothing more white that I've ever heard than Taylor Swift
and Carly Kloss are going to go after Katy Perry. Ooh. I'm quaking in my boots.
It's like the horror. The shock.
Right. Here are my Amazonian rich friends, and we're going to get you, Katy Perry, for taking a backup dancer, because those people are tied to you for life and come with your family. They are backup dancers, are migrant workers.
But I think that they've made up.
No, they have, but I'm just saying.
They've actually made up, but it's hilarious to me. It's so dumb.
Yeah, so dumb. Kim Kardashian, come on. The woman is like, you want to talk about singing about shitty boyfriends? How would you like to be Kim Kardashian married to that Looney Tune? So anyway, the point is that that's like a real misstep, and you can't.
I am still proud to say that I have never watched an episode of any of those Kardashian shows.
In the beginning, it was a lot of fun. It really was. It was a lot of fun.
No,
it was. I mean, it was stupid. Listen, it was obviously, but anyway, so Taylor Swift, you're selling lots of records. That's great. All right. So speaking of diss tracks.
Oh, God. Here we go.
All right.
Let me just say this.
Please do.
As a homo of a certain age.
Okay, you have to give me a heads up when you're going to say something like that, because I'm literally drinking coffee and I almost Kramered it all over the screen.
As a homo
wait. Let me finish it. Go.
I come from the era of the bitch track. I like a little cunty war back and forth.
You do like a read.
I do. I love a read. And I love technology. I am not mad at technology. I think technology is great.
Yep.
But if you are a lyricist, do not fucking start pulling AI out to put people who are, I don't know, deceased. As part of a diss track. And then using an AI voice for one person who's actually still alive. Use your pen and write some shit and say it.
Okay, well, here's the first mistake you made, Courtney. Drake is not a lyricist. He's a rapper. There's a huge difference. Okay? He is not, he's not a lyricist. He has never really written anything, and he's not the only one. I mean, there is a difference between being somebody who raps and somebody is a rapper and somebody who's a lyricist. Tupac was a lyricist. Snoop is a lyricist. Jay-Z is a lyricist. Kendrick is a lyricist. MC Lyte was a lyricist. Drake is a pop star who raps, which is fine. But he's not. Yeah, AI. Okay, so should I go down the list?
Yes.
I've been keeping track because I have nothing better to do.
Yes, please keep track. Spill it all to our people.
All right. For those of you playing at home game, remember last week or 2 weeks ago, this is like COVID outbreaks. Just when you think it's done, it comes back with a new varietal. Okay, so J. Cole puts out this track attacking Kendrick because somebody said they were the big three, and Kendrick says, no, I'm not. And then J. Cole puts out the track, 7-minute disc, and then he pulls the track because he's like, you know what? I said something I feel bad about. Okay, great. Somehow it still has a life. All right, so and this is the one that neither one of us, nobody had this on their bingo card. Chris Brown, maybe for the singer and dancer and alleged smacker around of women, the man who has as many restraining orders as he has gold records. Chris Brown puts out Weakest Link, which is attacking Quavo from Migos. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention when that happened. And here's the scary thing. It's great. It's a great song.
That's the fierce part.
It's not a great song lyrically, but it's like, who knew Chris Brown? Who knew? Like, who knew?
The fierce part is, and you are not a Chris Brown fan. If you're even
well, I liked his early music.
But you've ever since the incident, you've been like, he's not been your fan. But if you're saying that his rapping is great, it's like, well, damn.
Yeah, no. I was like, where you been holding this party trick? So he goes after Quavo, and the gist of, first off, he mentions Quavo's nephew and former 1/3 of Migos, Takeoff, being killed. So that's obnoxious because I believe Takeoff was killed in front of his uncle.
Yeah.
So that's obnoxious. Okay. That's just bratty, obnoxious behavior. The entire gist of the song seems to be, I fucked your girl. I fucked your girl. I fucked your girl. I fucked your girl. I fucked her when you were fucking her. I fucked your girl. Okay. Said girl is Saweetie, who was
minding her own business someplace.
Right.
Probably making a pork chop at home, looking at her schedule for the week.
Having a nice, taking her kids to, if she has kids, to like day camp, whatever. Sitting, minding her own business. And suddenly it's like, what did I do?
Am I thrown into some shit?
For no reason.
Here comes the cockfight. But that's always supposed to be the diss, right? And it's kind of like, to me, that makes you, even, who knows if it's true or not, but say it is true. That makes you the worst kind of guy, right? Because she has nothing to do with this. So now you throw her into something, which, our community, they love to eat it up. So now that's just going to live there. And everybody's going to be like, well, you were fucking Chris Brown. It was really unnecessary. Like, what? Go after him. Why she has? Women always end up being collateral damage.
No, they're totally collateral damage.
Fucking wars.
And then everything is like, so then Quavo comes back using the AI voice or a recorded voice of Takeoff, which I guess he has more. They are blood related, and the song is called "Hoes and Bitches." I wonder what this is about. Come on, man! Like, really? I mean, it's like a battle to the bottom. It's just so stupid. I mean, I have nothing against battle rap. I have nothing against diss tracks at all. Some of the greatest moments in hip hop have been based on War of the Worlds. But this is just baby, stupid bitches and hoes. I fucked your girl. I fucked your girl.
You know why I feel bad for Sweetie? Because so in Quavo's rap, he called Chris basically a drug addict and said, you beat women and all of that. So then Chris comes back being like, you beat and you hit Sweetie. And then the video of them, that footage of them having a fight comes back up. So now she's got to relive seeing
All that.
All over social media. But she had nothing to do with this.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
The whole thing is just, I just find it tiresome. I mean,
he is a good rap, though. I was like, oh, okay.
No, well, I know.
Who knew?
Who knew? We could have the conversation about, misogyny in music, not just hip hop, misogyny across the board. But this just seems so lazy and stupid. And this is the fight. Again, this is the fight you're picking. This is the fight because I fucked your girl. Okay. Keep it moving.
Right. It's like, and
what? Meanwhile, Chris Brown, you have more problems because, like I said, you have you're not a good person. He's not a good person. All right. But then that happens. And then, then Drake, what's his name? Drake comes back with the AI track. And it's called Tailor Made, spelled like Taylor Swift. And people said that he's not going to put out his record because he's afraid that Taylor Swift's record is going to outsell his. It's just, do these people just have some? I mean, they just need to have something better to do. They really just need to have something. Battle raps are great. And then everybody's like, fuck Kendrick.
Battle raps
Why isn't
are great
he coming?
when they're interesting.
When they're interesting.
It's a bunch of people that no one cares about fighting. It's like J. Cole versus Kendrick made 0 sense. It's like a bunch of almost 40-year-old, very wealthy men.
Well, it's like
yelling
fighting
at each
like
other.
this, like slapping. I'm doing little slap. But the thing that's so funny is that the bottom line, the uniting thread between all of these is that, and Kendrick, man, we got him shook. He's not saying anything. Hi, Kendrick Lamar is the Sade of hip hop. He can put out a record when he wants to put out a record, and he has a Pulitzer, and he'll put out his damn record when he wants to put out his damn record, and people are going to be thrilled because we haven't really heard from him except for the stuff he did with his cousin. And if he decides to come out, bye-bye, Drake.
And sometimes some people are like, I just said what I said and that's it.
Right. Really, I
said what I said and that's it. Like everybody they always want blood on the floor.
Or they want the last word. They always want the last word.
And that's what it feels like with Drake. He's trying to throw out all of these things and getting no response. You think, we got Kendrick. Or it could be some people in this world feel like, I don't look behind me because it's behind me. Why do I need to look behind me? I'm always looking forward to the next thing. Yeah. I don't need to be in this sandbox, in this playground. Yeah. I said what I said, and that's it.
Yeah, I have a Pulitzer. Hi, Drake. I have a Pulitzer. You're Wheelchair Jimmy. I have a Pulitzer.
He was Wheelchair Jimmy.
And you post texts from your mothers to prove that you didn't have a nose job. We have to get video for this only because. All right. Yeah. That we said it already, but it's like the only thing worse than that.
I was like, look, my mother
said I didn't get enough. The only thing worse than that was what
universe am I fucking living in?
No, the only thing that would have been worse with that would have been a note. Dear Mr. Lamar, Aubrey cannot participate in your battle right now because he has a dentist appointment. Signed, Mrs. Aubrey. What's his last name? Drake's last name?
Aubrey?
Graham.
Graham. Oh, wait, Aubrey is his first name, right?
Yeah. Signed, Mrs. Graham.
Right.
Or whatever. I don't think she uses her ex-husband's name. All right. Anyway. Okay. Let's talk about something wonderful and positive. Our Knicks. Our Knicks pulled off, I think, what is considered the upset of all. Well, it wasn't really fair to call it an upset because game 2. Is it fair to say that game 2 of the playoffs against the Sixers was one of the greatest 37 seconds of your life?
Dude, first of all, let's talk about how it started. Because remember at the beginning game, I'm texting you and I'm going, what the fuck? The Knicks are nicking because they were just all over the place.
I would like to add that by the beginning, I mean 20 seconds into the game. Courtney is a premature reactor. I'm like, Courtney, it's 20 seconds. Give him a break. But yes, they were not looking great. Jalen Brunson did not have the game of his life, but to be fair, the man has been basically playing nonstop for like what? The entire post. Well, anyway, so yeah, they didn't start leading the Sixers until the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah,
they didn't really. It was never like it was a lead, but as everyone knows in basketball, unless you have a 40-point lead, a lead can be erased in 1
the game
minute.
was close a lot. It was a battle. And then the end was just a complete melee.
And I've posted it. I mean,
now the next day, the NBA in the 2-minute report did come back and say that Tyrese Maxey was fouled at least twice.
Okay.
They did talk about some of the things that should have happened. But I say this, when you're in the last seconds of the game, I don't think there should be, I think you should let them play.
I don't think
they let them play. People are complaining, but that's the thing we always ask for. We don't want refs to determine the game in these playoff games. And so I feel like the last seconds of the game, they're calling a timeout.
Unless you're punching somebody in the face, you know.
Right. They also say that they missed the timeout. And they
also the call against Embiid, that was a freaking technical, and they let it slide. I mean, come on, that was the ball wasn't in play anymore. Well, that was the complaint about the NCAA game too, right? When the ref stepped in and made a call. Yeah, I think the last minute or 30 seconds, unless somebody, especially in a game like that, if it's a game where people are 20 points ahead, call all the fouls you want. But when it's literally down 2 seconds. You know what? It's you play the game, you take your chances. The officiating has been shitty all year. It's been shitty for the Knicks. It's not just like, oh, the Knicks refs. These are not the Knicks refs. They're the NBA's ref. They do everything, you know. And like I said, that Embiid call was bullshit, but it was great. It was great, and we have a bench.
McBride is amazing. We have a bench. We have Bogdanovich, who. Where'd you come from?
I think a former Soviet bloc country.
Yeah, he came in there. He was great. Like we've got Hartenstein is great. We've got White Nick, who's been amazing.
Okay, my White Nick, that we have 2.5 White Nicks this year,
right?
Because I still want to see a DNA check on Hartenstein. I don't believe it. I don't care. He can say whatever the hell he wants to say. It could be like Buffy St. Marie thinking she's Native American. I don't want to. I'm just saying, allegedly. I just want to see it. I want a DNA because I'm sorry.
Just took me out. You just took me all the way.
Here's why I want to see it. That's a good thing.
Not the Buffy St. Marie.
Okay.
I'm still not over Buffy St. Marie.
I know. That was a hard one. And it went away really quickly. Did you know that? Really quickly. Here's the thing. All right, and then we'll get back to White Nick. I hope everyone knows, watching and listening to the show, knows that I don't see color.
First of all, you know, somebody asked me the other day, which one do you guys call White Nick?
Me. I love a White Nick.
I said we had to switch because our one who was originally White Nick turns out it's not White Nick.
Well, we did have another White Nick. We had Bogdanovich or whatever his name is. Bogalaga, blah, blah. No. Okay. So Hartenstein is, we read this early on and we didn't believe it. And now he affirms it. He's biracial.
Yeah.
His last name is Hartenstein.
Yeah.
Which is German-ish, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So clearly his father is also biracial. Well, as he said, I'm not light-skinned, I'm bright-skinned. That's hilarious. Right. That's the line. That's all right, whatever. I'm looking at him. Every time he plays, I'm looking like, wow, okay. Our White Nick, and the man that has been dubbed on the interwebs as White Mamba, is Dante DiVincenzo. I am loving him. He is like giving me Chris Mullen.
Oh, yeah. His father is Florian Hartenstein.
All right, come on. He was in Milli Vanilli, for goddamn sake. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. His father...
and his father
was Milli Vanilli. They're dead, right? Aren't they both dead? Milli Vanilli. God rest.
I'm sorry. Do you know? Okay, this is what makes me feel super old. His father, who was born in Germany, he's German.
Okay.
Was born in 1977.
Oh, it's 1 year after I graduated high school.
10 years after I was born. How is the current Knicks father still younger than both of us?
But I'm sorry, we're going way off, but this is fat. This is the dog. This is the bone we love. How is he? So who's black in that family?
The father, he is.
Hartenstein?
Yeah, hold on. I'll put a picture up. Hold on.
I'm looking. Oh yeah, he's black.
Yeah,
That's a black man. For those of you listening to us, the white woman has now confirmed, and he's a black man. So technically, I should be terrified of him, right? The white woman has confirmed.
This show is. Oh Lord!
Yes, I have confirmed that he is a black man.
Oh Lord!
Whose parents obviously decided to give him the two most German names humanly possible. Anyway, Hartenstein, but White Mamba. That's the best name ever. And Dante.
Well, there are a lot of black Germans, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I am just kind of.
You do know that. What's his name is German. What's his name? Boris Cujo.
Yes, I do know that. I do know, but I as you know, I never let facts interfere with a really good anecdote. And I enjoy the fact that two black teammates of his flat out said, "All right, no, I love everybody. Don't send your, I love, but DiVincenzo. Oh my God. And you hear him, and what I love too about this team is that they are loving where they are. They are not taking it for granted. They are loving their fans, man, because I'm telling you, the volume coming out of the Garden the other night, like you could feel, that earthquake.
You could feel it through the television. You really could.
Feel it through the television.
The energy was there. I mean, the Garden was rocking. And listen, this is not going to, yes, we won the first two games. We won that second game, really, like I said, by calls and things through the skin of our teeth.
That was hard. That was all heart.
It is not going to be easy coming into Philly because now they're going to be in front of their fans. And the Philadelphia fans bring it just like the New York fans, if not even more. And they're going to really will their team. So, and Brunson has not been great in this postseason.
Right. No.
It almost feels like the
first game, I think it's getting to him. It's got to be, right?
Well, I think he carried this team on his back for the entire season. That is so much energy to have. It's like how much gas is left in the tank for the postseason, which is why in the best case scenario, the Knicks would sweep Philly. If they did that, there would be at least a little period of rest for him to try to get some sort of rest before having to start the second round of the playoffs.
Well, that's because of the stupid play-in bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is crap. But anyway, go next. I've invited myself over to my neighbor's house tonight because I realized with his son, because I realized this sad girl in her own room screaming.
But there's no Knicks tonight.
No. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. And also it scares the cats.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, because Spoonie, I
know my neighbors were like, "What's going on in there?" Because I'm like, cursing at the TV. I'm being murdered.
Yes, Spoonie likes to snuggle, and then all of a sudden, Mom is screaming and jumping up, and the cat's like, "Rawr!" and going across the room.
Right.
So I'm just going to go to their house. Plus, I think they'll probably have really good snacks.
And we love a snack.
No, we do.
And with that, we're going to take a break and be right back.
Hey, Pantheon listeners. Christian Swain here, taking a break from listening to a little Shout It Out Loudcast episode. Love Tom and Zeus talking all things Kiss. Of course, I was listening to them on my new Raycon wireless earbuds. They have quickly become my go-to earbuds because of the comfort. These soft tips are the best I've ever used. And at this price, plus a Pantheon discount, Raycon is really hitting on all marks. Sound quality is great too. I really love having these 3 EQ options because I like more bass in the music, but less in my podcast. 8 hours of playtime for the battery is great as well. Surround sound, noise isolating, and awareness mode are all included. These are great earbuds. Go to buyraycon.com/Pantheon today to get 20% off your Raycom order plus free shipping. That's right. You'll get 20% off and free shipping at buyraycon.com/Pantheon. buyraycon.com/Pantheon. Hey, Pantheon listeners, Christian Swain here. Another day, another podcast I'm working on. This time, it's Famous and Gravy with Amit and Michael. I want to let you know that I loved the Factor Meals package so much that I re-upped for myself, and then I sent a package to my in-laws. Like I was with my first shipment from Factor Meals, the in-laws were as excited to try one of the prepared restaurant quality meals. Well, they got the shipment to Protein Plus meal plan and were very impressed. See, being in their 80s, anything to make the meal prep easy is a plus for them. They heated the oven per instructions and minutes later were enjoying a very delicious, nutritious, and dietitian-approved meal. One big win for me. But what really floored them was the taste. Like I told you, it's surprising how good these meals taste. Restaurant quality indeed. And like my own shipment, it really was everything Factor Meals said it would be for some seniors. No prep, no mess meals. Factor Meals are 100% ready to heat and eat. Take it from me and my in-laws. Head to factormeals.com/Pantheon50 and use the code Pantheon50 to get 50% off. That's factormeals.com/Pantheon50 and use the code Pantheon50 to get 50% off. Thank you, Factor Meals.
And we're back.
All right, talk about Coachella. I didn't pay attention. You're better than I am.
I watched it the second weekend and it's over. Next.
Meanwhile, the Montreux Jazz Festival, that lineup, why can't we have nice things like that? Why can't we have every band that we want to see for the rest of our lives over and over? Okay, yeah, it's not jazz. If the next person who posts about whatever happened to jazz.
But it used to really be a really great jazz festival.
Oh, no, it used to be a jazz festival, for sure.
I had no idea that it had strayed so kind of far.
Well,
even though through years they've had, I remember Delight has played Montreux Jazz Festival. They always fused different artists in there, but this one is like the shark is jump. Like who's playing on it this year?
PJ Harvey, Massive Attack. It's like everybody that we want to see. Basically, the only jazz person there is, bless his heart, John Baptiste and Trombone Shorty. Trombone Shorty is great, and they're probably going to play together and be like jazz.
And John Baptiste isn't really jazz.
Well, some people think he is. I don't think he's really jazz either. But he has the New Orleans cred, and he'll be great with Trombone Shorty because those New Orleans musicians.
Listen, he's really talented.
When they get to vibe with the New Orleans, if you ever want to have the best time of your life, when the New Orleans musicians come to New York and play, that was happening a lot after Katrina. A lot of them relocated to New York because they had no place to live down there. Right. And those New Orleans crowds, when they get together, man, they know every song, they know everything. Manny Fresh was at the show. You always forget that these guys are from New Orleans, man, and that bounce music. They were all anyway. Yeah, so Coachella, good. I'm glad you watched it. I did.
I watched Lana Del Rey. I watched.
She's putting out a country record next, and as I
by Jack Antonoff.
Oh yeah.
So we get another one of his.
Oh my God. Well, she is the woman to quote Carlene Carter, who put the in country. I just, I can't deal with her. I can't deal with her sad girl. I just it's just like enough already. It's like enough.
I'm on the West Coast.
Yeah, all right. That's like, I just like the sad. I just don't find her appealing. Yay! I found most of her records the same, and so she's working with Jack Antonoff again. So what is it going to be? All the songs that Taylor didn't want to sing? It's just going to be, unless he decides, he's doing a country record. So I'm sure she's going to be moody, introspective country. It's not going to be pop country. It's going to be a girl who was raised in Scarsdale's idea of country. I want to see the think pieces about why she gets to do a country record, but Beyonce can't. Let me see those think pieces where I believe she is of the Jewish American persuasion, but she's definitely not from the South, gets to do a country message. Little Lizzie Grant. I want to see those think pieces, but whatever. Beyonce's putting out a country documentary now?
Evidently.
Okay. Must be a slow news. I mean, yay. I will say this, though. And, at the end of the day, who cares? It's a Taylor Swift, if she gets album of the year for this, they would look really stupid.
This is when the fix is in.
Yeah, no, it would look really stupid.
Because I enjoyed Midnights, but Midnights was not an album of the year album.
No,
it just wasn't.
All. But that would just be like, just because take the politics out of it, take the racial aspect out of it, take all. If you're going to pound for pound the two records, and they're both very ambitious personal records, it's not even close. Unless Billie Eilish comes out, and it's very possible Billie Eilish will put out a killer record because she puts out killer records because she's super, super talented. I can't think of anybody. I mean, who else Pet Shop Boys, our beloved Pet Shop Boys, obviously, but that's not an album of the year contender. I mean, I don't know who else is putting out records this year that would even be close to a contender, right?
Me.
Well, that besides
my
you,
album,
obviously, but no, seriously, who else? I mean, there's like nobody really. Anyway, well, speaking of awards, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm just so exhausted by the conversation at this point. Here, I'm just going to sum it up like this. Yes, it's not rock and roll. It's not rock and roll. All right, yeah. Ooh, you won. All right.
So, do we talk about? Do you want to read
I'm thrilled. Tribe got in.
So why don't we read the list?
All right. So Cher, yay! Who I voted for 4. Cher got in because she's Cher. That's good enough as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, it's Mary J. Blige, Cher. Okay, well, let me do it right. The performer category: Mary J. Blige, Cher, Dave Matthews Band, Foreigner, Peter Frampton, Kool and the Gang, yay, Ozzy Osbourne, A Tribe Called Quest. Musical Excellence Award: Jimmy Buffett, MC5, Dionne Warwick, Norman Whitfield. Musical Excellence. Right. Musical Influence Award: Alexis Korner, John Mayall, and Big Mama Thornton. And the Ahmet Erdogan Award goes to Suzanne DePass.
All right. We can all, the argument about it's not rock and roll and what is the criteria? This conversation has been had. It's been had. Okay, it's done. We're done with it. Why do the Yankees have so much money? Because they do. Okay, I mean, it's all been done. I am thrilled about Mary J. Blige. Thrilled.
The one I didn't see coming.
Yeah, you didn't. I'm thrilled because she's been on the ballot before, and I love her, and she did kind of basically invent a whole genre, and I'm thrilled. And I think I'm quadruple thrilled about Tribe because they've been on the ballot a couple times, and they have given me permission to take full credit for this, even though I have no right to take credit, but I've just decided I'm taking credit for it. I am surprised Mariah didn't get in, but not really.
I'm not. I told you, I think that as talented as Mariah is, as deserving as she is.
Yeah, very deserving.
I believe there are a lot of people who do not take Mariah seriously. It doesn't matter that she's written and produced the majority of her hits. It doesn't matter if she has 19 number ones.
Songwriters Hall of Fame.
So I think people see her and sort of almost like the Betty Boop image of her and all that, and they just don't take her seriously. I also think there's still a bunch of old school people and old school men in there who are friends and have a loyalty to her husband.
Tommy Mottola. Yeah, I wouldn't be put it past them.
You know what I mean? I think
that old record company mentality. Yep,
has not gone away.
She sued, right? Didn't she sue?
I mean, she had to. It was a really.
It was contentious,
and there was just really fucked up shit happening to her. You know, there really, really was.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I'm not a massive fan, but she does. If we're going to use the criteria of influence, popularity, not that popularity has to matter, but if you're going to use that, commercial success, influence, lasting impact, yeah, she deserves to be in there. And she's talented, but she didn't. Maybe next year it's her first year in the ballot. Dave Matthews Band, whatever, I guess.
But I told you.
I understand.
I understand that too. I mean, for who, they're not my kind of group.
Not at all.
They've been around for a long time. They've done it. Huge success.
Yeah.
People love them.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
He was funny last year. Frampton, deserving. I didn't vote for him because for me,
Peter Frampton Comes Alive is
Frampton Comes Alive, massive. Changed
huge,
the world. Changed the world. It did.
Huge.
It changed, right? Huge.
I remember that. Being young, I just remember that poster.
Oh, everywhere.
Everywhere.
My sister had the poster. Everybody
and
had
it feels like one of those live albums that was like the live album.
No, it was. It was like that and Cheap Trick live at Budokan. Because the whole idea of a live album was like, great guitars, great. He is ill. There's a lot of industry, there's a lot of support for him. People like him. There was a big campaign for him. Foreigner, as I said to you, Mick Jones's stepson is Mark Ronson, and Mark Ronson put on like a Joe Biden should put on such a strong campaign. Mm-hmm. And you know what? That's fine. And Mick Jones is also has Parkinson's, which is unfortunate. Not a huge Foreigner fan, but undeniable hits. They owned the radio in the 90s, right? Right. And they had cross-genre appeal. They had cross-racial appeal. I didn't vote. They're not my kind of group. Ozzy, not a fan, but oh my God, of course. Right?
To me, that makes them, when I saw his name, I was like, oh, he's not in there?
Yeah.
That was one of those, he's not in there.
When you don't need a last name, you should be in there.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah. I never thought Sinead was going to, I never thought Sade was going to get in. No disrespect to the woman.
I didn't think they stood a chance in hell.
No,
I really didn't. I was like, this is going to be a hard sell.
And I love them. And another one who every time they come out, it's an incredible experience, an album, and devoted fan base and integrity up the unit. Yeah, I was like, wow, that's great, but it's not happening. I am very did we go through everything? Very surprised Sinead didn't get in, and very disappointed, because I will say that I was having that moment of Eric B. and Rakim didn't get in. It's their first year. I understand. I think there is still, like, we can't have, voters might not want to hip hop groups in, and a lot of them, depending on their age, might be more familiar with Tribe, because those were such big college rock radios albums. But
the Sinead thing,
it surprises me, because I thought if ever she had the talent, she had the impact, but if ever there was going to be a time, and this is so cynical, she's dead. And this would be the way.
She had just died.
She had just died. And that,
and there were all of the pieces on her.
Oh,
and everything.
My God.
There was a lot around her.
Very reverent coverage. Yeah. Front page of the New York Times. Not that the New York, but you know what I mean? Like, this was not just like somebody died. And that was that was the two I was torn between. It was Mariah and Sinead. And I went with Sinead because I felt like this might be the only chance. Because next year, people might forget that she's, it sounds really
But what did I say to you before when we were talking about her? I think there are a lot of people who absolutely do not know her catalog.
Yeah, I think
they think about her. They don't even think about The Lion and the Cobra, which was her big splashy debut and all of the press and everything. They go all the way to Nothing Compares to You, which is a Prince cover, right?
Right.
But they don't talk about her reggae album, her gospel albums. Like just all her covers album. I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got. I love that album. Gospel Oak is a great album. Throw Your Arms Down is a great. She has a lot of work, and I think that people just don't know it. And she really has kind of had the most rock and roll attitude. She spoke up for shit. She was vilified. And I still think there are a lot of people and a lot of men who did not like her, and they showed that when it came time to voting.
Well, she's very well respected. I will give you that. And the majority, or there's about 1,000 people from what I've read that vote, that are the voters in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And a good chunk of them are musicians who are already in the hall. So I don't think musicians per se, unless you were Frank Sinatra, had anything against her.
Then why didn't she get in?
Why?
They
why?
like it when women are dead. When
But
you're dead is usually when they put you in.
But we don't know if it was a difference of 2 votes or 5,000 votes. We don't know where she came. You know what I mean? She couldn't have got.
But she's not in. That's what we do
Right,
know.
but-
And I thought that she, like Mary J, seeing how long it took for Shaka to get in.
Yeah.
I was surprised that I'm very happy for Mary J. Blige.
Very happy.
But I didn't have faith that they were going to vote in Mary J. Blige. I just didn't
Oasis
have faith.
also didn't get in, which was a no-brainer. I voted for Oasis because I love them. I don't care. I knew they weren't going to get in. I don't care. I didn't sacrifice any vote for Oasis. And even if I did, so what? I love them. I was like, I just love them. And that's it. I knew they weren't going to get back together. I knew they weren't going to play. I knew they weren't going to win. I didn't care. I love them unabashedly. I'm sorry, all my British friends. I know you guys all hate them. I love them. So that's it. British critics hate Oasis. Amy Linden loves Oasis, and I'm proud to say it. All right, so the other people and Tribe, yay! I'm very happy. I know you're
very, very
thrilled
happy
for them.
about, yeah.
Thrilled. Even
those are your guys.
Even if they weren't even if I didn't have their phone numbers, I would be happy because they. All right, so the musical excellence, MC5. Are they musical excellence or musical influence? MC5.
They are musical excellence.
All right. Again, would have been great had it happened when Wayne Kramer was still alive. He passed. But yay. You know what? At some point, you just have to be, okay, this is what it is. And either take it and not the band, the fans or whatever, take it and be grateful and happy about it, or sit there and have it. And I'm just like, it's great. Jimmy Buffett, much more than like the corny hits, and was very revered by other singers. He also recently passed. Huge coverage on him too when he died, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Norman Whitfield. Come on.
I mean, Harlem native Norman Whitfield,
Not
moved
even a
to
conversation.
Detroit as a teenager. I mean, I didn't realize the amount of stuff
everything.
he wrote or co-wrote. I mean,
oh my God. Yeah.
Hits,
not
worldwide hits. So that's amazing.
No, I don't even know why we even have to you know what I mean? It's like saying, water is good for you.
And Dionne Warwick, what do you think?
Good. She's been nominated before. I mean, rock and roll, this whole idea that rock and roll, it was pop music in the beginning too. And you know what? Good. I'm not, like I said, I'm not fans of some of the people on this list, but there's no argument to be made against them. It's not like the Archies got in. And don't get me wrong, I like the Archies. But what I'm saying is there's nobody on this list where you can go, they don't deserve to be in. They all have. Listen, if you're in, you deserve to be in your own weird way, whether you like the genre or not. These are not, arbitrary choices. All right, Big Mama Thornton, Thrilled. Jesus Christmas. Finally. I was kind of shocked that John Mayall wasn't in. I only thought he was in. There is no British blues movement without Alexis Korner or John Mayall.
Right.
That's it. Those are the guys. My hair. Those are the guys that basically took American blues, retweaked it, sent it back to us, and changed everything. So I'm very happy about that. And there's one more. No, that's it. And Suzanne DePass. Come on, ran Motown, right?
Yep.
Very nice. Seems like a perfect. So yeah, and the show is October 19th. It's in Cleveland. It's going to be Disney Plus, right? Streaming. And then it does the edited show on ABC.
Yeah.
On ABC like a couple of weeks later. I think it's going to be great. I think I'm going to assume that everybody who is nominated is going to, or everybody, with the exception if they're not feeling well, is going to play. I would not be at all surprised if Mick Jones is sadly not up to playing, that Mark Ronson plays guitar. Why not?
Right.
I mean, why not? I can't believe you didn't know that Mark Ronson was his.
I had no clue.
Yeah, but I used to think Mark Ronson was Mick Ronson's son. So I got all excited about Mark Ronson when that's his stepdad. And basically,
and you know me, I'm just like, I just be saying anything to anybody. I met one of those Ronson sisters once, and I was just like, "Are you the designer one?"
Yeah. Well, they're twins.
I literally was like, "Are you the designer one?" She was like, "No, that's my sister." I was like, "Okay, cool."
In defense, they are twins. It's like keeping your Hilton straight. You know what I mean?
You know.
Yeah, it's like which one of you are you? All right, let's kind of briefly talk about what we're listening to, if we are listening to anything at all.
I'm listening to Milan Farmer has a new remix album that's dropping this week. Y'all just miss Amy fall out the frame of the screen. And so I've been listening to...
All right, I'm going to pull myself back into the frame.
I've been listening to some of the remixes that they've released already, like the Du Temps remix by Dave O'Day. Du Temps, no.
Okay, your French is scaring me. Stop it.
And that, and then,
what does that mean, du temps? It means like blah, blah.
Du temps.
Oh, sorry. Du temps. What does that mean? In French, in English.
I don't speak French. I just sing the songs badly.
I just figure you might Google like what the woman is saying.
Wait, du temps means, hold on, I'll tell you right now. You have to be able to
spell it, because I've heard you speak French at your birthday party when you attempted to speak French. And I think that possibly is why the fire department...
Let me just tell you something. If you ever want to talk about something that wears Miguel out, we will bring it out. Because he was one who taught me the phrase. I've told him what I wanted to say.
You mangled that. That was painful. And it was your birthday and it was a great party and I had a blast. But I was like, he is not standing up there several drinks into the party attempting to speak French.
Du temps means time.
That was like some El Blumbido kind of French. New Yorkers will know.
But the fact that everybody was so confused at what was happening, and they just got to the cake.
They just got it. That was a really good cake.
That was a really good cake. It's from Make My Cake. That's where we always get my cake.
No, that was a really good cake.
Because I love chocolate on chocolate. Aaliyah's been making my birthday cake since she was cooking in her apartment.
Until the fire department showed up. That was great. But that's a sign of a good party.
Yeah.
When some sort of government official has to shut it down. The police came 3 times to my wedding party. 3 times.
Right. Oh, nice.
To shut it down. 3 times. It was great. All right.
And then I've been, listening to 2 older albums that I hadn't listened to in a really, really long time. LaBelle's second album, Moonshadow, which was their final Warner Brothers album. It's a fantastic album. And they have 2 really... Nona Hendryx wrote all of the songs except for 3. Sarah Dash wrote 1. They do a cover of The Who's Won't Get Fooled Again, which is amazing. And then their version of the title song, Cat Stevens' Moonshadow, which is a 9-minute, 24-second piece of absolute fantasticness. Now, if you want a vocal album that is underappreciated, not been like, you just, when people think of LaBelle, they always go to like Lady Marmalade, but or maybe they go with Messing With My Mind, or what can you do for me? But the Moonshadow album is fucking top tier. It really is top tier.
Yeah, and there's stuff with Laura Nero to me. It's like, now there's a group. Yeah. There's a group you could make a huge argument for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, even though I hate to do that because there's only one band in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that's women, and that's the Go-Go's.
How are the Runaways not in?
Joan Jett is in.
Yeah, Joan is in by herself, but
I know.
Because they were very influential to a lot of people. Isn't that what this is really all about?
Yeah, you know what I mean? But you know what? It's gotten better. There's more, but I mean, LaBelle to me is just so.
I think because and I think they might get in on a musical excellence or something, because they really did not have a huge commercial success. They had a great touring succccess. They put these records out. They weren't really hits, but they were really an in-demand touring band.
Roxy Music, I mean, I love them. Roxy Music I was stunned when they got in, because Roxy Music had, if you ask most Americans, they know Avalon and they know Love Is the Drug. right?
But at least they had commercial success in the UK at home, right? Didn't
Right,
they?
but the UK doesn't matter. I mean,
But that gives them some, like, LaBelle really, aside from Lady Marmalade,
right.
that was kind of like,
Yeah,
they've had 6 albums that people just do not know. They don't know that music.
No, but
the hardcore fans do. You know what I mean? And I think they're amazing.
About Roxy too. I think the hardcore fans know all the albums, and most people, and this is nothing wrong, say Avalon and Love Is the Drug.
Yeah, like, I think Nona Hendrix should be in the Songwriting Hall of Fame.
She's amazing.
You know what I mean? Because
she's amazing.
And I've been digging back into Laura Branigan's second album, Branigan 2. The thing about that is Laura Branigan could really fucking sing, man. She really had vocal chops.
Like a Broadway kind of.
And it's a really good album. And I love big songs with a voice that can control and sing big songs without sounding like you are screaming to us.
Right.
So I kind of been digging. I've been literally playing it on repeat all weekend, that and Moonshadow.
Well, I was going to, it's sort of, thought about doing this, and then I realized I'm sort of like really back-ass supporting it. I started listening to Blue Nile again only because Taylor Swift, there's this whole press about, she mentioned Blue Nile, and I said, well, let me go back and listen to Blue Nile. And then my friend Smith Galtney, hi Smith, was posting about Blue Nile, and they were like culty, very culty kind of group. Annie Lennox covered Downtown Lights on Medusa. That's a great album too. That's a completely.
Let me just tell you, that is.
We need to do an entire show about covers albums.
Yeah, really, like
the
good
whole
one.
Thing.
That Sinead, I do not want what I have.
All of Brian
Success has made a fucking failure of our home.
Yeah,
come on.
No, we need to just do a cover. Johnny Cash, his entire covers record. But anyway, so Blue Nile, which is basically Paul Buchanan, who I have been in a room with before, and he's like dreamy, but like unlike the two men on the street yesterday who thought I was adorable. I don't think he thought I was adorable. He respected me for my mind. Whatever. Hats in Walk Across Rooftops in 1984, Hats in 1989, which had Downtown Lights, and then they still are recording. They had Piece of Less in 96, which I like because I kind of like it when the rock guys kind of get into Jesus. It's sort of fun. Going back and listening to them, they are very good, but it is sort of, I can see why Taylor Swift was drawn to them, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
They are very good, and they are very kind of a moment, of a time. It's worth listening to, but I can.
Well, she's a lyrics girl, right?
Yeah, but it's also the moody and the atmospheric, and she's with British guys, and that kind of thing. But they are good records. But I listened to them so I could go, oh, let me see, and then I went, it's not going to be a Kate Bush. Suddenly they're going to have a top 10 hit type of thing, but it's definitely worth listening to. So that is that. All right, take us out.
You know what it is, kids. Follow us, tell a friend, leave a rating, leave a review, share the show. Come to us and talk to us on our Facebook. ImmaLetYouFinish, all one word. Behave. Some of you kids.
Behave.
You know what? I like a little testiness.
I took classroom management courses when I became a teacher. Behave.
Some of you kids
share your toys. Share your toys.
You get a little naughty.
Share your toys.
Get in the comments with each other. You know what? I think.
Share your toys.
Because we've been blocked. Our show page has been blocked by somebody that we love very much as an artist. And really we always just would repost this artist
get
stuff.
To the bottom of that because people.
You know what I think it is? Because I shared their post.
You think it's the fan? Our listeners?
I think that in the comment, I remember that post. People in the comments were having a debate or talk about what said person had said. And I think that said person looks, from what I hear, is they run their own social media and look at everything. And I think they saw, because we were all on their side, like, yo, we're standing with you, Doc. I think they saw some of the discourse or maybe something that people said in the comments and just blocked us.
All right, they need to stop because we love this person and we want to be this person's friend.
And we're just kind of like,
you are keeping us. And if you keep up we love our fan, but if you keep up some of these shenanigans, and we need to talk to you about it. If let's just say, God forbid, the Pet Shop Boys happen to read our thing and then they decide to block us. Hell, blood will run in the
And let me just say this. I have no problem with you guys.
Me neither.
We have no problem with you not agreeing with us. We have no problem with you guys not agreeing with each other. But there's some of y'all that we realize, oh, you just don't like anything. You're one of those people that just doesn't like anything. Because no matter what we post, it's like, these bastards, what is this? I'm like, oh, I know who you are.
Yeah, you need to calm down. In the words of the great Taylor Swift, you need to calm down. And on that note,
don't step on my gown.
Well, that's why I was like,
calm down.
Right.
Or as I close out this week's show and tell you to come back next week on the Pantheon Podcast Networks, I am going to leave it with a quote from the late great Aretha Franklin.
Oh yeah, gowns.
Okay, gowns, beautiful gowns.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Hey, this is Liberty DeVito.
This is Mike Del Giudice.
This is Michael Cavanaugh from Broadway's Moving Out.
This is John Jackson, director of the Billy Joel Archive.
This is Russell Javers.
This is Richie Canada, and you're listening to Glass Houses, a Billy Joel podcast. It's awesome.
I'm Michael Grosvenor.
And I'm Jack Fernino.
We're lifelong Billy Joel fans who launched a podcast in 2020 celebrating the music we love.
Whether you're looking for the greatest hits or the B-sides and rarities, you'll find it all here. And if you've ever wondered what happens behind the scenes of a concert or recording session, we've got you covered.
Join us as we explore albums, tours, band members, the latest news, and more. You'll also get a unique glimpse into the music industry straight from the musicians and other professionals who help make it all happen.
Tune into Glass Houses, a Billy Joel podcast at glasshouses.pod.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Glass Houses, a Billy Joel podcast is a proud member of the Pantheon Podcasts Network.